Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to complete the Remembrance quest for the Scholar, which is one of the new night fairs in Elden Ring Nightreign. Two new night fairs as well as some other content were released a couple days ago in the DLC for the game, and I'll be posting a guide on the Undertaker Remembrance as well. If this video ends up helping you and you enjoyed it, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I appreciate you watching. So first thing we're going to do is head over to the journal, which is on the far door on the left, where you can fast travel here, and make sure that you complete some expeditions with the Scholar, because you're going to need memory fragments, which you need to be able to progress the remembrances and start them. So just make sure that you're doing some expeditions as you go along. And then once you hit begin remembrance, it's going to bring you right here, and you're just going to interact with this table right here, and just choose the first option, and it's going to give you a little bit of dialogue. Now, after you're finished with the dialogue that it gives you, it's going to say personal objective added, and we're going to head back over to the journal. And again, you can always just teleport over there to make it quicker. So once you get back to the journal, your next objective says search the underground chamber below the marsh. So you do need to do an expedition to be able to find this item for the objective, and you can choose either one of the new bosses, the Balancers or Dredgelord. I'm not exactly sure if you can complete the quest choosing a boss that's not from the DLC, but yeah, I'm going to show you guys the camp you need to go to, which will be marked on your map once you get into the expedition. And I'm just going to do a solo round, that way I can just head there by myself and not have to, force anyone to go there, especially if it's out of the way. So once you get into the expedition and you look on your map, you're going to see a little red mark on one of the camps, and it is random. They're not always in the same spot, but they're usually always the same kind of camp. I mean, it could be Poison, Madness, or anything like that. So you're going to want to look for that camp and make sure that you get to it before the expedition is over. So we've gotten here to the camp, and as you can see, it's kind of in the storm. So we're going to try to get in there as quick as we can. This is the front of the camp, so you're going to want to go down this opening right here, which is very easy to find. And then you're going to take a left turn right here. And then we're going to keep following it down, and then we're going to take a right and climb up this ledge and then drop down into this hole. And then you're going to see an item right here that you can grab. And for every camp, it's going to be the same exact area. So you don't have to worry about the item being in a different spot if the location of the camp is in a different area or something like that. So we're going to make our way out of here. And again, you just need to finish the round with that item in your inventory. And again, you don't have to even fight the Night Lord. You just have to die with this item. So once you get done with the round and you ended up grabbing that item from the camp, you should have Visal's journal in your inventory, as you can see right here. And then once you're back at the round table, it's going to give you a little notice right here telling you that there was a loud sound coming from the chapel. So hit OK, and then you're going to head back here towards the chapel where the Undertaker is, and you're going to see her right in this opening right here, kind of licking the wall, which is kind of strange. And you're just going to exhaust her dialogue. She's not going to say a whole lot to you right now. And at this point, she's not going to say anything else to you, but you're going to want to go over and talk to the Iron Menial right here and exhaust his dialogue. So after you talk to him, you're going to get a black screen for a second, and then you're going to go over to this table right next to you, and you're going to interact with it. So after that, the Undertaker will now speak with you, so you're going to go over there and talk to her. And when the choices pop up, you're going to choose the first option. So at this point, after you've talked to her and exhausted her dialogue, she's not going to have a whole lot else to say. But there's going to be a teleporter right next to you that you can use to conclude this portion of the Remembrance. So we're going to do that. And then it's going to send you right back to the journal. So once you wrap up that chapter of the Remembrance, you are going to get the Scholar's Chalice as a reward. And just remember, you are going to need another memory fragment to be able to progress this next chapter of the Remembrance. So make sure you are doing expeditions with the Scholar to be able to progress them. And at this point, it should say begin Remembrance if you do have a memory fragment. And we're going to hit OK. So once it brings you back here to the round table, we're going to go back over to the journal and see what the next objective is. And the first step says to talk to the small jar merchant. And if you've bought anything from the merchant or started the DLC, you know exactly where he's at. He's going to be in the far right-hand door. And he's going to be right at the end of this hallway. And we're just going to talk to him. Choose the first option. And at this point, it's going to teleport you into the Great Hollows, which is kind of just a separate area, and you're going to have some enemies in here that you're going to want to take out. So we're going to progress forward, and like I said, there's a handful of enemies in here. You're just going to want to take them out so you don't have to deal with them later. And you're mainly just going to want to be progressing upwards. There is a stair set right here that you can go up, and there's more stair sets. You're just going to want to go to the very top, but take these guys out along the way. Again, so you don't have to deal with them later. Because you are going to have a little boss fight that you're going to have to do. So just keep going up these stair sets. There's going to be a guy right here. And essentially you're going to have to get up on this rock right here. But the only way to get through there is over on the other end of this hallway. You're going to go through this door. And then go through this doorway. Take out this guy. And once you get up on the beam, there's going to be a little opening right here that you can go through. And once you get in here, there's going to be a door. And then a piece of dialogue is going to come up saying, I must first determine the source of the noise. So you're going to head back out here. And once you get back onto the beams, there is going to be some bosses down on this platform right down here that you're going to need to fight. There's going to be a Godskin Apostle and 2 knights that you have to fight. And luckily, the Godskin Apostle kind of fell off, so I was able to just fight these 2 without having to deal with the other guy at that moment. So just make sure you take these 2 guys out. And I believe you get an unlimited amount of attempts to be able to kill these guys. They're not too terribly hard. My advice would be to take 1 at a time. And just try to circle around them to be able to try to get backstabs on them. So once we get done defeating those 2, we're going to jump down here and fight the Godskin Apostle. And as you can see, their health bar is all connected in one, so the 2 knights and the Godskin Apostle all have 1 health bar. So once you kill him, it'll say objective location can now be examined. So we're going to head back up the stairs and head right back up to that door that we couldn't open before. So just keep following your way back up the stairs. And we're just going to go the same way we went before. So once you get in here, their door is going to be open, and there is going to be a couple things that you can interact with just for some extra lore. You can interact with this and that. But the main thing you need to interact with is this giant crystal here with the knight inside, and you'll just have a little bit of dialogue. So once you get done with that, it's going to send you back to the journal, and you'll be done with this chapter of the Remembrance, and it's going to reward you with the Cleansing Tear, which is a relic for the Scholar, and it's a very good relic. I'll show you guys the power-ups that it has on it. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good relic, honestly. I do have it on my build. So once you have another memory fragment from doing an expedition, Again, if you use this character all the time, you're not going to have to worry about getting them. You should be on chapter 7 at this point, and it's not going to say begin Remembrance or give you any explanation on what to do. You are going to need to defeat the Balancer's boss as the Scholar to be able to progress to Remembrance. And it did take me a minute to figure this out because there's not really any videos or anything explaining on what to do. So yes, you do need to take out the Balancers as the Scholar to be able to get to chapter 8. Now, after you have defeated the Balancers, you're going to go back to the journal at the round table hold, and you're going to click Begin Remembrance, and you'll be beginning Chapter 8, which is the final chapter of this Remembrance. So once you begin the chapter, it's going to send you back out to the round table, and you're just going to go back to the journal, and it's going to say Talk to the Undertaker, and she's going to be back in that same area that she was before, so we're going to head over that way. And just make sure to exhaust her dialogue fully. And she's going to end up giving you the return leather case, which is basically a collectible item. You can't really use it for anything. So once you've finished up with all of the dialogue from the Undertaker, you're going to go back over to the journal, and it's going to say check the dresser mirror. And you need to go over to the mirror where you change your outfits at, where the different Nightfarer's skins are, right in here. So you're going to interact with this. And once you're finished with that, you're going to go back over to the journal and see what the next objective is. And it says continue analysis in chapel. So we're going to head back over to the chapel where the Undertaker is. Now once you get back in the chapel, you're going to just go straight to the right and interact with the table. And you're going to choose the first option. Alright, so after you finish with that dialogue, it's going to say personal objective added. So we're just going to teleport right back to the journal and see what it wants us to do. And it wants you to defeat the Dreglord in Limveld. You're going to need to do another expedition and defeat this boss. You can only fight this boss after you've already defeated the Balancers. And once you've defeated that boss, you'll unlock the Dreglord boss. I do think the Dreglord's a little bit easier than the Balancers, but I mean, I guess, you know, it's not the same for everyone. Do a solo, do a team run, whatever you want to do, but you do need to take out that boss to be able to wrap up this Remembrance, and that is the last step. Now, after you defeat the boss, you should be rewarded with the headband of the Golden Ones. Now, once you're back at the round table, we're going to head to the journal, and it says talk to the Undertaker. So again, we're going to go back over to the chapel, and we're going to speak with her real quick. So once you get over to her, you're going to have a handful of dialogue that you need to go through, and you're going to give her the copy of the research that you found. So after speaking with her, you're going to go over to this table right here, and you're going to interact with it again. And at this point, you'll be rewarded with the new Remembrance skin for the Scholar. So after that, there's going to be a little teleporting spot that you can use to wrap up the Remembrance. So once you get sent back to the journal, you're going to be rewarded with a new relic, which is called My Dear Successor. And this relic is pretty good. It's basically a full character skill relic. And I'll show you the power-ups on it. And I'll show you guys the Remembrance skin real quick. Honestly, there isn't a whole lot of difference between the original one and the Remembrance one we just got. I'm sure there might be a little small detail that someone might be able to figure out, but I didn't see anything. So, yeah. So this is what we got. And then we got the 2 relics, and we got the chalice for the scholar. So, anyway, I hope this video was able to help you. If it did, please consider giving the video a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps out. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.